Hi, my name is Leah O'Malley. I'm the Volunteer Services Manager here at SICSA, and we so appreciate your interest in learning more about dog enrichment. So at SICSA, we have a dog behavior team, and the dog behavior team is the one that is over dog enrichment. So all the dogs that live at SICSA are walked 4 times a day, and then they get enrichment twice a day. Enrichment are things to keep them interested while they're in the kennel. So it might be a puzzle, it might be a snack. It's not a whole meal, it's not even a supplemental meal, it's just a little thing to keep their brain engaged. And the behavior team has created it so that they're trying to hit all the different senses that the dog has. So that's what you'll be doing, putting those items together. I'm standing here in the food and dish room. The food and dish room is located in the core services hallway, and it's at the end of the hallway closest to Kitty City. So in this room, you will find all kinds of things that you need. So if you're doing laundry and dishes, the dishwasher is in the first part of this room. I'm in the middle part of this room. This is where we're going to work on dog enrichment. And then the end part of this room, you've probably also been in there because that's where the bowls are. That's where toys go. That's where leashes are. So this is a really kind of hop-in area of SICSA where volunteers and staff work together to make things happen. What we're going to do in this video is I'm going to explain dog enrichment to you. I'm going to go over the schedule, the way that we do things, and how you make different parts of dog enrichment. So the first step of doing dog enrichment is figuring out what we need to make and how many we need to make. And the dog behavior team does a great job helping us know what we need to do. So the first thing we'll do is look at the enrichment schedule. There are 2 times for dog enrichment. Volunteers come in at 10 o'clock in the morning, and then they also come in at 4 o'clock in the evening. It is Tuesday morning, so I am going to look at Wednesday, right? Because somebody was here yesterday, they did the Tuesday part to make us ready. It's Tuesday, so now I'm gonna look at Wednesday morning. So Wednesday morning says that we need to make towels and we need to make slow feeders. So I know the 2 things that I need to make are towels and slow feeders. I'll give you a little tutorial of how we do that in a minute. Next, I need to figure out how many do I need to make. So I come over to the inventory board over here. And for Wednesday morning, they don't have any towels ready yet, so I'm gonna have to make 25. Then they have slow feeders. They have 1 slow feeder ready, and they would like to have 17 more. So using this information, I know that I looked at the schedule. I know I need to make towels and slow feeders. Using the inventory then, I know how many I need to make. And if you forget everything that I teach you in this video, it is not a problem, because there is at the very end there a list of, oh, hey, this is how you make things. So one side note that I did want to mention, this is a new system. And we have noticed that sometimes volunteers get done with things really quickly, and then they feel like they don't have anything else to do. I understand that you come here because you want to work and you want to help. But please, if you are here and you are supposed to do the Wednesday morning items, please don't work ahead and do the Wednesday afternoon items, or the Thursday morning items, or the Friday afternoon items. Other volunteers are coming behind you and they want to help with that as well. So if you finish your work and you're done rather quickly, remember that this room is a hub and there will be lots of ACT animal care technicians in and out. And so you can stop somebody and say, hey, I have finished dog enrichment for Wednesday morning. I would like to do something else. Is there any other way I can help you? Now, keep in mind, they might say, oh wow, we are already all caught up. Thank you very much. Or they might say, oh yes, I had this that I needed backfilled. So they will help you find something, but please don't work ahead and take somebody else's volunteer job.
So now we know what items to make. We know how many we need to make. We need to gather the supplies so we can get to work. In the middle part of the food and dish room, you will find Kongs, Frisbees, enrichment toys, paper towel rolls, and this cart, which has a lot of things we can use for dog enrichment: dog bowls, kibble, peanut butter, canned food, a spoon and a knife. All these items can be used for dog enrichment. In the back part of the food and dish room, you will find even more supplies for dog enrichment. There are egg cartons, muffin tins, canned dog food, dog treats, snuffle mats, bubbles, puzzle toys, dog bowls, slow feeders, ice cube trays, pumpkin, broth, any number of things that will help you to create dog enrichment items.
Now we're ready to learn how to make some of the enrichment items. At the beginning of this video, we learned that I needed to make 25 towels and 17 slow feeders. We know how to read the schedule, we know how to read the inventory, we know where to find the items we need for dog enrichment. Now we're ready to make some enrichment. So the towels. I went down to the laundry room and I got 25 bath towels from the laundry room and brought them back to the food and dish room. What we do to make this dog enrichment item is we spread out the towel and then we take a little bit of kibble and we sprinkle it in the towel. So notice I'm not giving them a whole big meal. I'm just giving them a little bit of something to search for. Then in this little bin right here, I found this one is ground ginger. We have some other ones too. We want to make this interesting. We want to engage all their senses that we can. So I'm putting a little bit of ground ginger on here. So the dogs are going to like searching for this kibble. Then I fold it just like a fan and I get some more kibble. And again, it's not a lot. It's just a little bit of kibble to give them something to do. A little bit of scent for them to look for, and then fold it over again. I got one more little spot I can do. Little bit of kibble, not a whole meal, just a little itty bitty taste of stuff, and a little bit more scent. So I have folded the towel just like a fan you used to do when you were a kid in school. And then what I'm going to do is take the two ends and I'm going to fold it into a knot and tie it into a knot. Now when the dog gets this, he unties the knot, he goes in search of that great ginger smell and finds kibble when he gets it all unwrapped. Okay, so we have finished the towels that we needed to prepare for enrichment, and we need to know where to put them away. So we come to the back part of the food and dish room and we find this black shelf. And the towels go on the bottom in this black bin, and that bin is even marked Towels and Wednesday. So I will put the towels in there and they'll be ready for the ACTs when Wednesday morning comes around. So the next item that was on our list of things that we need to make is slow feeders. To make the slow feeders, we go to the back part of the food and dish room and we grab the slow feeders out of the cabinet that's back there. We get a can of wet dog food and we take a little bite of wet dog food and we put it in different spots around the slow feeder. And again, this is not a meal, right? It's just a little snack. So we put the different globs of wet dog food in the slow feeder. And then the next step that we're gonna do is put water in it. So I've got this low feeder, I've got about an inch of water, and I'm going to put that into the freezer. We can use two different freezers here in the food and dish room. So one of the freezers is this flat freezer right here, and the other one is in the top part of the refrigerator. As we make more and more of these enrichment items, you're going to see that we definitely have a theme going on. So the next one that I'm going to show you how to make, we call boats. So I found this little container in the back part of the food and dish room on the shelf, and I grabbed the boat, I grabbed canned dog food, and I'm going to put some of the canned dog food in the bottom part of this boat. And again, it's not a whole meal, just a little snack. And put that in the bottom of the boat, and I make however many it says to make on the inventory, and I put this in the freezer. So the next kind of enrichment that we're going to make is the Frisbees. When you pick the Frisbees out of the bin here in the middle part of the food and dish room, it's important that you pick one that has a carabiner on it. We're going to make this enrichment, and then we're going to hang it outside of the dog's kennel with the carabiner so they can eat the snack off the middle. Another way to look at this is that we're making a dog pizza. So we get canned dog food and we put it in the bottom part of the Frisbee and spread it around a little bit. I have a gravy kind of dog food, and really the pate works best to make the Frisbees, but we're going to make our little crust of dog food and spread it around the bottom part of the Frisbee. And this one doesn't spread overly well, but you kind of get the idea. Then the other ingredient in dog pizza is kibble. So we take just a little bit of kibble and we sprinkle it on the top, and then we put this in the freezer. The next type of dog enrichment we are going to make is paper towel rolls. So I've just been making one of each of the different things, so my supplies are a little bit different than what you would be doing if you would be making a whole bunch of paper towel rolls. You would go back to the back part of the room and get a can of dog food. You would use the cart and get a scoop of kibble, and then we take it and we mix the two of them together in the bowl. And again, I don't have, mine's just for kind of explanation purposes, but you would have a whole can of dog food and a whole bunch of kibble, and you would mix them together to create this yummy mixture. The best thing to do when you're making paper towel rolls is to get two dog bowls. One dog bowl that you're making your mixture in, and the other dog bowl that you are going to line the paper towel rolls in once you're done, so that when you go to put it in the freezer, they're all nice and neat in a bowl. We take the paper towel roll and we fold one end in, and then we get the mixture and we scoop it in here. Till it is all the way up to the very tippy top of the paper towel roll. Got just a little bit, so I'm going to squeeze it all in here. And then what we do with this is we freeze it, and then we give it to the dogs, and they tear the paper towel roll off, and then they eat the yummy popsicle inside. So I would continue making a whole bunch of paper towel rolls and fill up this bowl, and then I would put that bowl into the freezer. The next enrichment I'm going to show you how to make is snuffle mats. And snuffle mats are kept in the back part of the room on this shelf. They're kind of easy to find. They're on the bottom shelf. And what we do with snuffle mats is we take a little bit of kibble and we hide it in different places all over the snuffle mat. And you can see I'm taking a whole bunch, just a little bit here and there, and we hide it from the dogs. And so they get to use their sense of smell so that they can find the treats. And we'll hide it all over. And then once I have kibble hidden in here, I go back to the scents that we have. This one is turmeric. And I sprinkle a little bit of that on the top. And the snuffle mats go on the same shelf as where we put the towels. So it's in the back part. It's a tall black shelf, and it has a place for snuffle mats. The next type of enrichment that we are going to put together for the dogs is puzzle toys. The puzzle toys are located in the back part of the food and dish room, and they're in a box conveniently labeled puzzle toys. We use these just the way that they were intended. So we'll put a couple of pieces of kibble in different parts of the puzzle, and then we'll cover it up with the pieces, and the dog will have to figure out how to get these pieces off and how to get to this yummy treat. Once the puzzle toys are completed, we will take them and put them on the shelf in the back part of the food and dish room. The next kind of enrichment that I'm going to put together for the dogs is called Busy Box. So I went to the back part of the food and dish room and I got some things that I thought dogs would like. I got the box, because we need that. I got a squeaky toy, I got a soft toy, and I got some treats. And so I'm going to put these things in the box. And maybe I'll put a little bit of kibble in there. And just for fun, I'll put a unique smell in there. Again, I've got the turmeric. And then I'm going to seal up the box and put it on the shelf, because now that one is ready to go. So the next enrichment that I'm going to make is called peanut butter frozen Nylabones. So what we're gonna do with those is we're gonna go to the back part, to the shelf where the supplies are, and grab some peanut butter. The Nylabones are kind of tricky to find. Sometimes they're in a bin up here that says Nylabones. Sometimes you have to dig through the toy box to find them. I had to dig through the toy box to find this one. So we're going to open the peanut butter and put some peanut butter on the Nylabone. When I do these, I put the peanut butter on the top part of the Nylabone, and I don't put it on the bottom. And the reason I do that is because it just makes a big sticky mess. And so when the dog is enjoying this, they need a place to put it between their paws and hold on to it. So we put peanut butter on there. And then what I like to do, again, like I do with the frozen paper towel rolls, is I put them in a bowl and I line them up all the way around the bowl. And then that way it's easy for the animal care team to get them and serve them to the dogs. The next dog enrichment that we are going to make is one you might very well use at your own home. It's Kongs, and our dogs of course love Kongs. So we get kibble and we fill up the Kong with kibble till it's most of the way full. And then in order to hold that kibble in the Kong, what we do is we top it off with peanut butter. Now, I have seen this done where some people use dog food to top it off and hold that stuff in there. And the issue with that is, as it sits in our fridge, it starts to get brown and crusty and kind of gross. But the peanut butter seems to do a nice job holding the kibble in and also not getting all brown and gucky and yucky. I guess because it is already brown. And then this would go in the refrigerator. There is a bin there called Kongs. The next enrichment that we are going to make is peanut butter milk bones. So I went to the back part of the food and dish room and I found a box of big milk bones. And that's also where I found the peanut butter. And I am going to take peanut butter and smear it all around the top part of this milk bone. So it makes a tasty treat for the dogs. And then I am going to put it in a dog bowl. And once I get them all made, I'm going to put that in the freezer. This is a new type of enrichment that the behavior team created for the dogs. And to make this one, we need to gather a whole bunch of paper towel rolls, a pair of scissors, and one of these shallow trays. All of these items came from the shelf in the back part of the food and dish room. And so what we're gonna do is trim these paper towel rolls to different lengths. And then we're going to set them upright in this tray till we fill the whole tray. And we're going to put little pieces of kibble in each of the paper towel rolls. And that way the dogs have to search through the paper towel rolls to find the kibble and they get to eat it. By the time we are done, the paper towel rolls in boxes are going to look just like this. So the last type of enrichment that I'm going to show you is muffin tins. The same idea for muffin tins applies to the egg cartons, so you can kind of use that knowledge. So we are going to take some kibble and we're going to hide a little bit of kibble in the bottom of each of the muffin tins. And then we're going to cover them up with a tennis ball. And then the dogs can knock the tennis ball out of the way, play with the tennis ball, eat the kibble. It's a win-win-win-win-win. Thank you for watching this video on how to do dog enrichment at SICSA. This is kind of a new idea of how to do things, and we are changing all the time. Your creativity is definitely a bonus. So if you think of something that's better or more interesting, then definitely let us know. We appreciate your help, and thank you for watching.